Wonder Woman 1984. Will it be released, delayed, or appear on a streaming service? That is a headline and a question that we're going to be speaking about on this Monday's MBE Movie News.
Yes, John, that is the question we are going to be pondering over the next 10, 15 minutes or so, I would guess. But listen, this is all about Wonder Woman 1984. It is a sequel, obviously, to the very good Wonder Woman film. This was actually scheduled for 5th of June, but it looks like possibly that this film could be put back to July.
Yes.
Now, that's very hopeful thinking. Especially what's going on around the world at the moment. If we'll be back up and running for July, it's a bigger question again, isn't it?
Will there be any theatre companies alive in July?
I think what...
will we be alive in July?
Oh, don't even go there. But listen, as long as we get 2,000 subscribers, that's all I care about. We're nearly there, come on. You know what I mean? The timing of this couldn't be any worse. But listen, John... The gist of the news of this is obviously that with everything going around in regards to other films releases that, just at the beginning of March, in cinema releases have now shifted over to home release. That's, I think, what this news is about, that the studio hasn't made up its mind yet in regards to whether they want to get down that avenue or not, because June's still a little while away. We're talking about 3 months away.
Yeah.
We don't know where we're going to be in 3 months. So the studio, to be fair to them, Warner Brothers, are not really saying too much in regards to the release date of this. All they are saying, I don't know if it's been confirmed officially, but the rumours are that it could be pushed back for another month, 3rd of July, I think it was.
Yes.
So it's only about a month of a shift if things go according to plan, and we're all very positive and believe that the world can be a better place.
Antiviral treatment discovered. So it's not quite a vaccine.
No. But listen, what's your thoughts on this? Because personally, I think they're doing it the right way. I don't think they want to commit themselves to home streaming at the moment. But we'll obviously be talking about that later on in the show, the prices that some of them are coming in at. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. But I think they're just playing their cards close to their chest now. But what's your thoughts on this situation with Wonder Woman 1984?
Steve, it's a difficult one for Warner Brothers, I have to say, because it's obviously just uncharted waters we're in just now. No one's ever lived through a pandemic in the current... Well, there is a few 112-year-old people out there who perhaps seen the Spanish flu in 1918, but most people alive haven't lived through a pandemic, so we don't really know what's going to happen, how long it's going to last for, how many people will die or live, or all that nonsense, not get bogged down with this. We're speaking about movie news here, let's try and keep it upbeat.
Yes.
But it is quite connected to the actual story because it's screwing up release schedules left, right and centre.
Yep.
But I can understand their plight. There was rumours that they were debating potentially skipping theatres, a theatrical release, and putting it straight on a streaming service. Apparently that has been thrown into the dustbin. Warner Brother execs are not keen on releasing it straight to a streaming service, so that's one of the options that we did ponder at the beginning that looks like it definitely isn't going to happen. That just leaves a delay and then a subsequent release at some point, maybe a new release date. I can't see it coming out June the 3rd. I don't think we'll be through this in a couple of months' time. I think this is going to last longer. I think July the 3rd would be rather ambitious as well, but you never know. We may get some antiviral drug. I know they're currently trialling them in Australia and China and everywhere else, so it may be that one of these drugs pops up, it works, it's successful, people aren't getting as bad as they were, and then they can then relax the amount of sanctions and shutdowns and whatnot, because if people are getting it and they're becoming cured, business will slowly but surely start to come back to normal. So that may be a possibility. It's very unlikely to me though. One thing that I'm finding quite humorous about this though is the fact that Patty Jenkins had this movie delayed. She wasn't happy about it being delayed. It was finished long ago. I think it was about a year ago she'd finished shooting it, and she was quite happy to keep it in its original release slot, which I think was late last year. So this movie could have been out in the theatres, had its stint, made its money, and then been off into home release, digital release, and everyone would have been happy. Patty would have been happy, Gal Gadot would have been happy, Chris Pine would have been happy, Warner Brothers would have been happy. But for some unknown reason, some unfathomable reason, they decided to delay the release, and now it's been caught in this storm of coronavirus and global pandemics.
Well, it could be, John, that perhaps, with the likes of Birds of Prey and stuff like that coming out, they didn't want to cross over any scheduling conflicts or anything like that. We just don't know, but I think you're right. No, it's very good having 2020 hindsight, but I think Patty Jenkins will be kicking herself now, and I think the studio will be as well, because I think we could have had this film out months ago,
and it looks good.
It looks fantastic. And you're right. It's been a long time since I saw that first trailer. I think it was actually a poster, wasn't it? The first thing that came out.
Yeah, the zany poster.
Yeah, very colourful and that. But it's just one of these things, John. It's uncharted waters, as you said, and we'll just have to. It's not the only film that's going to be affected with the scheduling. The other films that are coming out round about that time, or the studios are going to be. They're going to have a really good think of how they're going to play this, because they're going to have to make a decision. Sooner rather than later. I'm the same as yourself, John. I doubt very much we're definitely not going to get the June release. I very much doubt we're going to get a July release of this, because as well as everything that's happening in the world, people's mindsets as well, and stepping back into large numbers again is going to
take a long time to recover.
I think it's although I think with people's conditioning though, I think they're going to, most people.
You look in Scotland just now, Stephen, there's still people walking around beaches, sitting in parks and drinking, walking around in big numbers, and they just seem to be completely oblivious to the fact that this virus spreading around, killing people. So might not be as hard here. No. Perhaps trial or release here. Warner Brothers, you could even release it just this month, and people would probably still go and watch movies if we can get Cineworld and Odeon and View to open up the doors. Just from Stephen, look, final thing I would add about this, it's really tricky for them to try and get the rescheduled release date correct as well, because obviously the longer it goes beyond July, if it's August, September, October, November, you're going to have more of these movies being released later on in the year. We also know No Time to Die is slotting in November, with Kong versus King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla v Kong, I can't recall what the hell it is. I'm not that big a fan of it. But those are two Titanic releases in November alone. You've got films like Tenet and Dune coming out later this year. They are big releases for a Denis Villeneuve and obviously a Christopher Nolan. So,
John, it could be
difficult.
It could be Warner Brothers. I just want to keep an eye on how the films that are being released just now to home, download. To see how much they can recoup in regards to home box office. I don't know what the terminology would be, but obviously how much money these films are going to make with digital download. I am under the understanding that these films are for rental only. They're not for buying outright. I think that's right. I might be wrong, John, but listen, we'll move on, because this is actually something that connects into what we're talking about anyway, in regards to the situation at the moment, and just some of the new movies to release early as digital rentals, which you can watch them now. This is 9 of them which are available in iTunes rental. Some of them were coming out anyway, the likes of the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which was due to be released on the 17th of March anyway. That came out on the 13th of March, coming in at $19.99 on iTunes, John. It's very pricey.
Is that for rent?
But I don't think that is, John. I think that's because that was already out for release anyway.
That's to buy.
That's digital download anyway. Which I think it was scheduled for the 17th of March anyway. So it was coming out anyway. So it came out 4 days earlier. It is to buy. I think that's probably about right for a Star Wars film anyway. With all those extras you get on them. Excuse me. It's not what you think it is. The likes of Onward as well coming in there from Disney Pixar. I'm choking here, John. I need a drink. But this is coming in as well. But if you want to go through these just now, I have a little drink of water because I think I've got a frog in my throat. I think that's what it is anyway.
Yeah, I hope so. It's obviously Onward, Stephen, is the other one. That was shown, I believe, in theatres. We did speak about that in the box office breakdown. So that's in. They're not saying to buy. It's $19.99 to actually rent that movie. Again, for a movie that was out in the theatres so recent, for that to be available for rent is really incredible. It's something I've never seen.
No.
So I think $19.99 probably converts to what you pay for a cinema ticket anyway over in the States.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what that converts to in actual...
Must be about £15.
Yeah, pounds, about £15. So it's a little dearer than what we'd pay over here for a ticket.
Yeah.
Usually it's about £10 odds, I think.
But you can wait.
Cineworld.
It does say, John, you can wait till the 3rd of April to catch this streaming on Disney Plus anyway.
Which I would do.
Which we're going to have in a couple of days' time.
Yeah.
But hey, it'll be one day time by the time this show goes out.
Yeah, I'm about to buy it.
So, yeah, I mean, it all works out well. I'm looking forward to seeing Onward. I was one of those ones that was looking forward to seeing it in the cinema. Yeah. Unfortunately, hindsight again. We chose to see films, obviously, like The Invisible Man, The Hunt, Dark Waters. So it's just one of those things. It was on our list to go and see.
Better movies, though, Stephen.
Yeah, definitely, John. You just prioritise, you know. But it is certainly one that I do want to catch and I do want to see, just because it's getting good feedback.
Yeah, Stephen, look, the other ones are Frozen 2, obviously The Invisible Man. We spoke about The Hunt, which we just went to see last week. One of the last movie we seen before the theatres shut down over here. It was worth risking my life to go and see because it was a funny, dark, satirical movie with lots of violence. The Invisible Man, I really enjoyed that. Another hit for Blumhouse. Yeah. These are all available for rent on iTunes. Again, $19.99. This is just the recurring theme. This is what you pay for a digital purchase or for a rent on iTunes. Yeah. Frozen 2 is in there as well. That was out a good while back. I believe that was November, so that should be to buy. And then you've obviously got the likes of Emma, which was just out in theatres. We spoke about that one. That's for rent. Yeah. Trolls World Tour, that's coming soon. That's not even been released in the theatres yet. They're just forgoing a theatrical release with that one and sending it straight to digital, which is quite incredible, actually. That's one of the few here, I think, which is going straight. I think maybe Bloodshot with Vin Diesel, comic book movie, is available for pre-order. It's coming out, I think, March 24th. So, all in all, it's just incredible how they're reacting to this situation, this pandemic. People not being able to go to theatres, they're thinking on their feet, and they're using some unique things to try and get people watching movies that they would have wanted to have seen otherwise through the digital spectrum, renting, buying, whatever.
It does say, John, that as always with iTunes rentals, you'll have 30 days to begin watching the film after making the purchase. Once you've started watching the movie, you'll have 48 hours to finish the film. After that point, it will be removed from your account. So,
that's fair enough.
I think
48 hours to watch a film.
Apart from obviously The Rise of Skywalker, which was coming out anyway as a buy download, but that film came out in December, so you can understand that that's at that period now where it's available to buy. But the other ones, John, as you said, they've been out less than a month. You know. So it's a very unique situation.
Bad Boys for Life as well, Steve.
Bad Boys for Life
it's coming
as well.
Out. It's getting an early release.
Yeah, so we'll be able to talk about that as well, John. We did say we were going to see it, we were going to go and see it, we were going to go and see it, but we didn't go and see it. So we've got no excuses now.
Yeah, we can review it. Yeah, maybe
so,
review the other Bad Boys movies.
I think that's the road we're going to have to go down very shortly, obviously, with news being very scarce at the moment, John. Now, one of the things, just before we move on to our final topic in regards to the experience of seeing these films, John, is that these films, like most films, are made, obviously, as a community, experience, etc. This was always one of the things that the old directors and some certain film festivals as well were very dead against, with the likes of Netflix, releasing premiered films on their streaming services and taking the sort of social aspect away from it. Well, listen, the coronavirus has done that for us anyway now. We've not got a choice. But it's going to move us into, obviously, the last topic, John. This is Chris Nolan. Yes. He's calling on Congress to save movie theatres during the crisis. Now, I'm just going to read a couple of quotes here from Mr. Nolan, and then we can have your thoughts on what's he saying, John, and obviously the impact and the implications this current situation's having on the film industry and obviously the film community as well, because it's very important. Both of them go hand in hand. So Chris Nolan had this to say: as Congress considers applications for assistance from all sorts of affected businesses, I hope that people are seeing our exhibition community for what it really is, a vital part of social life. These are places of joyful mingling where workers serve up stories and treats to the crowds that come to enjoy an evening out with friends and family. As a filmmaker, my work can never be complete without those workers and the audiences they welcome. And he just finished up by saying, when the crisis passes, fingers crossed, the need for the collective human engagement, the need to live and love and laugh and cry together will be more powerful than ever. Can't agree more. The combination of that pent-up demand, and the promise of new movies could boost the local economies and contribute billions to our national economy. We don't just owe it to the 150,000 workers of this great American industry to include them in those we help. We owe it to ourselves. We need what movies can offer us. Yeah. So, John, what is your thoughts on Chris Nolan's words, and obviously his words to Congress?
He's absolutely bang on, Stephen. I think it's so important that we do, our Congress and also the government over here, do their absolute best to protect most industries, most businesses from going under, and then obviously that subsequently having an impact on thousands of workers. But more importantly, we are fans of film, so extremely important that these big theatrical or theatre companies, like sort of Odeon over here and View and Cineworld, over there it's I think AMC, Regal and Picture House or something. Yeah. No, I think that's here. I think Picture House may be one of our parent groups that own Odeon or something. Okay. I might be wrong, but it's so important that they do, both governments and countries bail out these companies if they do encounter trouble, because he's right, it's a communal experience, a collective human engagement, going to watch a movie together. It's just that something that's transcended thousands of years, really, not going to watch movies, but performances, being entertained and enthralled by something that's something special. It's truly unique. I always recall my first time going to a theatre as a young guy, 4 years old I think it was, Jurassic Park, 1993, been absolutely awestruck by what Spielberg managed to conjure up on the screen. Yeah. You look at all the other movies since then I've been to see, I've never lost the bug. It's just a truly special thing going to the theatre. You never lose the magic and the awe of seeing a new movie, been whisked away. And he's right in what he says, it's going to be needed more than ever, what movies can offer. Just that blissful escapism from what's happening outside your own world. You can forget about it, walk away, be wished off to a new world. That's more important than ever after this crisis, that we do get these theatres back and people going in to watch movies. Look, you did make a comment about Netflix, that they've also been the big bad guys who are ripping the heart out of the cinematic experience. We had Spielberg chiming in, we had the French government about how it's a communal experience that's to be enjoyed. Look, they are right, but Netflix, to be fair, I think they're offering a grant or something. They're doing their best to help out industry workers in this coronavirus, so they're not the big bad guys. They're just ahead of the curve when it comes to obviously entertainment and digital. But I can see there's a place for both.
Than ever, John.
Yeah, now, there's a place for both. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. Who do you fall back in during this crisis when you can't go to the theatres? Well, it's streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. They're going to keep people ticking along with rentals and whatnot. So you need the two of them. We can't just go after this to a place where it's digital only. You need to get the theatres back and people getting in and watching movies, because he's right. Yeah. Chris, he knows his stuff, that guy.
Well, the other thing for our point of view as well, John, that will help us with obviously our movie reviews as well. Yes. Because we were considering obviously doing some retro stuff, which we'll probably do anyway, in this time. But, if these films are going to be made available to the general public, i.e. guys like ourselves, I think it offers us the opportunity to watch these films. We might not get the same experience as we do in the theatre, but at least it's something, we can get to see these new releases. Yes, absolutely, Stephen. Look, I ain't got much more to add. No. Hopefully all blows over in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 18 months. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as we're all alive at the end and it's over, then everyone will be happy. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's sadly, not everyone will be, but look, joking aside, man, hopefully everyone out there is safe and well and doing their best to wash their hands at least 3, 4, 5 times a day for 20 seconds. You can pick your own song. But look, I digress. I'm done. What the hell did you guys make about Wonder Woman 1984 potentially being delayed, going straight to digital release? What do you think will happen with it? Do you think Warner Brothers will give in and give us a digital release? What's your thoughts on these digital releases in general, coming straight to VOD and being available for rent? What's your thoughts on Chris Nolan speaking about the communal experience and how it's more important than ever after this crisis? If you've got anything to say at all, you can comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying content like this. And if you do, then you'll see us again tomorrow for MBE Heroes.